Hello, Renee Flamont here. You guys, this topic of new supply getting old also, I'm not talking about age here. I'm not talking about they age, okay? Not necessarily, although it's not uncommon for the narcissist to go younger and younger as they themselves try to defy age. But I'm not talking about they get old age-wise. I'm talking about once they had new a while, it's now old. The minute it's old, the narcissist needs more new. Just listen, you know I'm going to explain myself. There is such a big point to make here, especially for those dealing with that burning feeling right now over the new versus you. It burns. I know it does. I know. You were new at one point. They're new now. Well, what happened to you? Do you think it's because of something you did that they moved on to new? I know you better not, after all we've learned here, think that you did something and that's why they moved on to new. We know things dissipate with the narcissist for a multitude of reasons, all of them to do with them, their disorder, their dysfunction. I don't care how you got, I blew up, Renee, you don't know, I went I don't care. Someone who's non-dysfunctional, who's in a healthy relationship, who loves you, accepts you, flaws and all. So if you flipped out once or twice, they're not going to go out and find someone new. That's not how things go. That's not how it works. That's not fair. Okay? So we know things dissipate for many reasons with them. And we know that their reasons will always come up. They were lonely. They were bored. They felt like devaluing you. There's a million of them. They're disordered. It doesn't matter who they are with. Their reasons will come up to make them falter because the disorder is theirs. The dysfunctional way that they go about life is never going to stop. Doesn't matter who they're with. At some point, whoever they are with is not new anymore. The narcissist needs new. They need new, different, a change. It's not like, ooh, they met the one and they'll learn to behave now. She's great. This is all I ever wanted. No, nope, no way. How long the new lasts depends on how tolerant they are, how argumentative they are, if they're inquisitive, and if they try to put up parameters. Now, please do not say to yourself that you wish you could be then a quiet conformist if you had to do it all over again, because the new looks happy. And maybe I could have lasted longer. Okay. It doesn't mean if the new looks happy, it doesn't mean the narcissist isn't doing shady things behind the new's back. It just means she isn't challenging him. She hasn't found out yet. I certainly would never not want to challenge, to have made it longer with him. Are you crazy? No way. Why? To prolong the inevitable agony that everyone involved with a narcissist goes through? If you spoke up, you should be proud you stood up for yourself. The new that lets the narcissist do whatever they want, they may last 15 years. But what on earth do you think those 15 years are like? And would you want to be in the dark as a conformist, as a non-confrontational person? Would you think that that's happiness? If they're in the dark and the narcissist is doing all this behind their back, you don't think other people know? So they're being played a fool. I would never want to be in that position. So don't ever kick yourself saying, oh, I went too far. If I didn't, he'd still be here. He took off. He slammed the door. Blah, 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 blah. So you stood up for yourself? I'm telling you right now, if a new is overly tolerant, underly aggressive, never speaks a word, doesn't ask any questions, then I'm telling you, even if they last 15 years, those 15 years are one big, messy, dysfunctional web of deceit. Whether the new knows it or not, whether the new challenges it or not, doesn't matter. The narcissist is doing the behavior anyway, always, to everyone. New is only new while it's new. It gets old. They need new. It's very simple. Their formula is very, very simple. I don't care if you see pictures of them all over social media and they just got married and they're having a second kid and blah, 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 blah. He's cheating on her. He's devaluing her. I don't care what anybody says. It's their formula. They don't know any other way to feed themselves. They weren't taught. At a very young age, they learned they're entitled to behave any way that they want. They have a grandiose view of themselves, which means they can go out and take whatever they want, which is kind of the same thing. But it goes hand in hand. They think they're so above everybody else. I deserve everything I want, no matter who I hurt in the process. That doesn't just go away because you meet someone. This isn't a curmudgeon, person in life who suddenly saw the light because they fell in love. That's not what happened. If they are a narcissist, your person is truly a narcissist, there's certain qualities they're going to have. They all have them in common. And chasing new supply is a huge part about it. They need their ego fed. I don't care how much you feed their ego, you're not new. They need someone to listen. I don't care how much you listen, you're not new. They need someone to laugh at their jokes. I don't care how much you laugh at their stale old jokes. They need someone new. Fresh. They need a fresh audience. I just feel like I could never have done it. I could never have stayed quiet. And some do. Some do. And they last for years. But they're not happy because the narcissist always has new somewhere. See, an important part to note here, and I think you'd all agree with me, of course, I don't like being played a fool. Of course not. No one does. Who wants to be played a fool, right? Well, the new is always, including us, including their new, including their old new before us, always. The new is always the fool at some point down the road. Always. They've gotten, just like they were with us. Okay, so we were new. They played us. Then they got new, and they played them. They continued to play their old new, even once they had us and we were new. They're going to continue to play the new, even if they get new, because then they're going to be the old new that they want on their bench. They never stop playing, but they never stop trying to get new. Ever. The game for them, I guess what I'm saying is, the game for them never stops. It's a constant, the players change. The roles change. The roles change for the players. New becomes old. Old becomes a bench warmer. New becomes the new. Things just shift. They just shift. But they have a spot, a role for whoever wants to play with them. They're not going to refuse anyone's attention. They're not going to refuse anyone's company. So they're out there in the world, charming out the pants of it. They're going to take on every single person that wants to be in their circle. When you see a narcissist begin a new relationship, instead of feeling any kind of jealousy or pang of envy, remind yourself that that new person in their relationship will get old to the narcissist too. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. They don't fall in love forevermore, and they're quenched. Their thirst is quenched. They're satisfied. They're happy. They're going to go through life happy now. That doesn't happen with the narcissist. They go through life suffering, and their thirst is unquenched, and they're never satisfied. And a big part about it is they're always seeking the next best thing, the next best deal, the next best person, the next best place to hang out, restaurant to go to, friend to have, whatever. They're after it, after it, after it. And they can never just sit still where they are and be happy. It's impossible for them. It's impossible for them. But we get all twisted up about the new supply, and we get all, I hear it the last couple of weeks especially. I've heard it from a lot of you, that you get so twisted up about the new supply. Well, he married her, he seems that doesn't mean a thing. A narcissist will definitely go so far as to marry somebody to triangulate you. Means nothing to them. Why wouldn't they? If they can marry you and cheat on you and marry you and not keep vows, you don't think they could marry you for false reasons? Just to make you jealous? Of course they will. So the marriage itself could be based on something false. And I'm not saying I wish these things to happen to the new. I'm on the side of the new. I'm on the side of all of us that are victims to the narcissist. That includes the new. That includes your new that you hate. That includes the new after me that I couldn't stand. I'm on their side because they don't know what's coming. And I feel terrible for anyone that doesn't know what's coming. And I just want to reiterate one more time. Please do not fall into the little danger of, well, then I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because I really love them and I just want to keep them around. Listen to that. You just want to keep them around so they're not really bringing you any value. If you know that there are problems and you're just going to try to be quiet because you've noticed that that worked for so-and-so with this person, and I'm just going to kind of stay on the down. I'm going to be a conformist. I'm sick of looking. I'm old. I just want to be with him. You have to know your worth is more than that. Than in trying to work it out with a narcissistic, dysfunctional person who keeps hurting you. That's not what we're meant to have in our lives. None of us, right? I think as a species, we're known to be a monogamous species, or maybe we're not. Who knows? I'm not a psychiatrist. But I think that the eventual human condition is that you want to find your own person. I think the eventual human goal is to have companionship. Now, if you're in a multiple polyamorous, knock yourselves out. Personally, I think that that's where a narcissist person should reside, is in a polyamorous situation, so that they're never really, deceiving anyone. I even mentioned that to mine. It wouldn't work for them either, or it wouldn't have worked for him. He wants to be pretending that he is the end-all and that you see him as the end-all savior person in a one-on-one relationship. I have no idea why that couldn't translate into just be with more than one person at a time and stop hurting people. Hurting people is part of their dysfunction too. They like that part. They like to see you scramble back. They like to see, okay, I crushed her. Let's see, will she scramble back? How much effort will she put in? Can I hurt her again? Will she come back again? Can I hurt? This is all part of their cycle. The devalue, the gaslighting, the triangulation, the cheating, lying, all of it. The smearing you. That's all very hurtful behavior. And they don't stop it just because they meet someone new. They might not do it for a while. And like I said, how new the new stays depends on them, their behavior, the narcissist mood, the time, the habit. Corona, my narcissist was stuck in the house. So he behaved for a few months. He was stuck in the house. And then out he went. And the truth started to come up. And I said, oh, no, you got the wrong girl. But I still let him devalue me. And I continued and I hung in there thinking I would get it back. But guess what? By then, the new was old. He needed new. I was on to him. His mask had fallen off. We had had a million fights. He had devalued me in so many different ways. The truth was out. He knew I would never see him that same way again. That's what makes them want to seek new. And they always do something wrong. So if you're with a narcissist and they've done something wrong and you've had a fight and they know it, or even if you didn't fight, maybe you didn't say anything, they know you know. They know you'll never look at them the same way again. They like someone to look at them like, oh. They need new. And every new becomes old. Eventually. It is just a matter of time. I just wanted to mention this because I hope it gives you some solace and helps you feel a little bit better. Because I don't want, it's the biggest thing that bothers people. More so than how the narcissist treats us. I hear more pain over the angst we feel over the new supply, and he found someone new so fast, and oh my God, how could he just leave and do a 180 and never look back, and he moved on, and I can't move on, I'm left in a mess, and blah, blah, blah. People get very twisted up about the new. Well, guess what? Everything new becomes old eventually, and they will have to move on. I just wanted to mention it. It's a different way to look at it, different perspective. It helped me because it's the truth. So please keep that in mind. Go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.